let's have a look. First one's Quebec. Find out why Quebec is trending. Yeah, French. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to read that.
Have a responsibility. We
Let's see.
live, as I just said, in a bilingual country. We proudly live in a bilingual country. And companies like Air Canada particularly have a responsibility to always communicate in both official languages, regardless of the situation. I'm very disappointed in, as others are, rightly so, in this unilingual message of the CEO of Air Canada. It doesn't matter the circumstance, but particularly in these circumstances, a lack of judgment and lack of compassion. As you know, the Committee of Official Languages has summoned the CEO to appear before it. I will follow his comments closely and
Committee of Official Languages.
Comments which I would expect in due course from the Board of Directors of Air Canada. We live, as I just said,
Committee of Official Languages. So, from what I understand, there was the incident with the plane crash, where there was a fire truck crossing a lane, plane came down, hit the fire truck, and the two pilots died. They were Canadians, as far as I understand. And one of them was a French-speaking Canadian. And the CEO of Air Canada did a whole, like, where he went up and he talked about it, and he didn't say anything in French. But I think because Air Canada, let me check this. Is Air Canada a crown corporation? And what is the Committee of Official Languages? Write it down. No. Okay. No, Air Canada is not a crown corporation. It was originally founded in 1937. It operates as such for decades, becoming an independent crown corporation in 1976. It's fully privatized in 1989. So if it's fully privatized, why do they care what the CEO speaks? Through the Air Canada Public Participation Act today, Air Canada is publicly traded. Okay. This is likely referred to one or both of Canada's Standing Committee's official languages, which oversees matters related to Canada's two official languages, English and French, under the Official Languages Act. Why are people upset at the CEO of Air Canada not speaking in French if it's a private corporation? Let's just see what it says. Current controversy stems from Air Canada's CEO, Michael Rouziel, releasing a nearly all English video message of condolences on March 23rd, 2026, following a fatal runway collision at New York's LaGuardia Airport that killed two Air Canada Express pilots. Okay, yeah, I know that. This quickly sparked widespread backlash, especially in Quebec and from federal politicians across parties. Quebec's premier, other provincial figures called for Roussel's resignation, describing it as a lack of respect for Francophone employees, customers, and grieving families. Prime Minister Mark Carney expressed disappointment. That's what we were just watching, citing a lack of judgment and compassion. Rouzier has been summoned to testify before the House of Commons Standing Committee on Official Languages. Okay, here we go. Why the strong reaction, even though it's private? Air Canada is indeed a privately owned, publicly traded company. However, it remains subject to the Official Languages Act because of its origins as a former Crown Corporation. Specific provisions in the Air Canada Public Participation Act. This makes Air Canada the only airline in Canada with ongoing federal obligations to provide services and communications in both English and French on equal footing. Okay. Air Canada Public Participation Act. The CEO's personal proficiency is not strictly a legal requirement for the company's compliance. However, critics argue that the top leader inability or unwillingness to speak French in a national moment of grieving symbolizes a broader failure to prioritize bilingualism. This all seems like a distraction from what was a terrible event and the death of 2 pilots. Let's see what else it says. Deeper context behind the upset. Symbolic importance in Quebec and for Francophones. French is the official language of Quebec, one of Canada's 2 official languages nationwide. 1 pilot was Francophone, amplifying the sense that the message should have addressed families in their preferred language. For many, this incident represents ongoing tension over the perceived erosion of French outside Quebec, major national institution headquarters there. Let's see what people are saying. Pull this up. All right. Not a single day goes by without a brand new example of what a tragic joke has become. From coast to coast and with scant few exceptions, they are led by lowlife, craven. Okay, can't say that. How do I sort? How do I sort these? Relevant? Let's see if this gets us. Alright. The most important thing in this horrific story is speaking French. Yeah, like I don't understand that. Okay, does that mean that someone's commented? Replies. How do I see? That doesn't help me. Can this be translated? Okay. Thank you for everything you do for the French language. We couldn't care less about these super. Like they're all saying it too. Like why do you care so much about his language he's speaking when 2 people just died? Like What about the Governor General? She don't speak French. French lessons. Okay, we get down there. Is this what the whole thing was about? Under 18% of Canadians are bilingual. I'm definitely not bilingual. I learned high school French. And then stopped taking French as soon as I could. One language is enough for me. Every federal public worker is required to be bilingual, and they want CEOs of major corporations to be bilingual. All I'm saying is this is pretty much DEI in a nutshell. I mean, I think they focus on the Frank language, the French language, way too hard. We're we're moving into an era where translation is going to be a lot easier, um, especially on sites like this. A lot of places, sites will be automatically translated, the text on them now. So this whole focus on French language, I feel they're deflecting. Let's hear what they have to say.
Should leave his position. Yes, I believe he should. Now, there are a number of weeks where the House won't be sitting, so we won't see him for a little while. But in the interval, he should try and...
If it's a private corporation, they don't have any control over if he leaves or if he stays, right? So they're doing is they're trying to pressure essentially like the stakeholders, the members of the board that run the company into removing him.
think about this and realize that he's not necessarily the person to hold this position. And the board of directors of Air Canada could also decide
Board of directors, there it is.
To
So they can't do it. They have to put enough pressure on the board of directors to get the board of directors to remove it, which is what they're trying to do.
remove Mr. Rousseau from his job. Now, when the federal government brought in certain measures under the Official Languages Act, it went even further this time around to ensure that this sort of thing couldn't happen. Now, Mr. McKinnon is refusing to ask for his resignation. Well, the Liberals know full well that they really don't.
Like, can we see his actual speech? Where was I? What's his full name? It was Roussel or something. Right there. Row. Let's look him up and see. Teach me. No, that's not what we're looking for. I gotta try and look up Air Canada. Air Canada CEO. Find it on YouTube. A lot of these things. Tier 2. Is this him? That looks like it. Are these people talking about it, or are these the actual speech? Like, I want to watch it to see, like, is it disrespectful? Or is it only the fact that he couldn't speak French? Here, let's check it out. It's 3 minutes.
Today is a very somber day at Air Canada. I'm here to provide information on an accident that occurred involving a Air Canada Express aircraft. The aircraft was operated by Jazz Aviation LP, which operates flights on behalf of Air Canada. First, and most importantly, I want to express our deepest sorrow for everyone affected. Our efforts are focused on the needs of our passengers and crew members, along with their families and loved ones. We know this is a difficult day for everyone, including all of us at Air Canada. We know that there are many questions, but at this early stage, we do not have all the answers, as the circumstances are still being assessed. However, I do want to share the information I have at this time. The event happened at LaGuardia Airport after Air Canada Flight AC 8646, operated by Jazz Aviation, a CRJ 900 aircraft traveling from Montreal to New York, had landed. Flight AC 8646 was carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members, for a total of 76 people on board. We now know that the captain and the first officer were killed in this accident. We are deeply saddened by the loss of 2 Jazz employees, and our deepest condolences go out to the entire Jazz community and their families. We are working with the authorities to confirm the number of injuries and if there are any other fatalities. We are actively working with all relevant authorities on emergency response efforts. The Air Canada Special Assistance Team has been activated to assist our customers and their families. We're fully supporting the relevant investigative authorities in their investigation to learn everything we can about these events. While that work will take time, anything we can do now, we're doing. And right now, that means focusing on taking care of those impacted by this incident, including their families. Members of our specialized team will be on their way to New York. We know that many people are concerned about the welfare of their loved ones, and we've set up a special helpline. Friends and family can call 1-800-961-7099. That's 1-800-961-7099 if you believe you've had friends or family on board Air Canada Flight 8646. We understand and appreciate that people are seeking information. Please know that we will provide information as it is verified and cleared by the authorities for release. All our official statements and updates will be posted to our website, aircanada.com, and to Air Canada's official social media channels. Our team of highly trained professionals will work around the clock to support our customers, their families, and our crew and their families in every way we can, and will update you regularly as soon as information becomes available. Thank you. Merci.
That seemed perfectly fine. That's especially with how soon this is. 3 days ago, so this was pretty much right after the event, the actual crash happened. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think they're trying to take something that has nothing to do with the French language trying to make it fit their mold of pushing the French language, because that was fine. I mean, it was a terrible tragedy what's happened. Heart, hearts and prayers, family, and I hope that, because we know that the two. I think we should have more information now. How many people were killed and injured in the plane crash that happened at LaGuardia Airport? We should have this information now, right? I think it was only the two. Two people were killed and dozens were injured. Killed both pilots on board. So the pilot, the first officer, Tony Forrest, Kenzie Gunther. The only fatalities. Approximately 41 people were transported to hospital. Okay. Yeah, like why are you going after this guy? The language he speaks. Montreal mayor? 21 seconds. Let's hear it.
We just have to remember that some people died in this tragic accident, and all my thoughts are with the family. Now, he has a responsibility to respect the people that and our Francophone community. He didn't do that, and I think he lost the respect of our Francophone community. We just have to remember that.
Because he didn't speak French. He had. Why are they trying to, like, they're trying to mold something into a specific shape that doesn't fit. Relevant. Let's go. Which ones are liked the most? From the rest of Canada. Ask an Anglo from the rest of Canada how much respect they receive when visiting Quebec not knowing French. There's your answer on how petty this entire fiasco is. I mean, like, exactly. In bilingual Canada, particularly under Quebec language laws, face refusal of medical care in English, even when the provider speaks English fluently. Head of a major company issues a condolence message in English only on social media. It's treated as a national scandal. Quebec politicians have called it contempt for francophones, demanded his resignation, and summoned him to a parliamentary committee. This kind of selective outrage is designed to fuel division between the English and French and serves to distract from deeper issues like government incompetence, corruption, wasteful spending. Surprised they didn't also hammer him for skipping a land acknowledgement in the message. Those have become near mandatory performative rituals in Canada publicly. Yeah. People died, our health care and economy are in trouble, but let's grandstand over garbage. I mean, as far as I could tell, all the most like comments lean the same way I do. Why are you making this about the French language when two people were just killed? Like, there's a lot we could be talking about, like how this happened, what we can do to make sure this doesn't happen again. And they're focused on the CEO of Air Canada didn't say anything in French. I don't know. It's like they're trying to fit a circle piece through a square hole. And everyone seems to think the same way. Okay, I've completely lost where I was.